afternoon, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now live at 4 on this Wednesday. Spring has returned.
The sun is out. It's warming up. Oh, it's a little windy out there today.
It is breezy, yes.
Yeah.
Be careful if you're heading out, especially going on an east-west road because the wind's coming out of the south. We'll get to the weather in a minute. Here's what's making news on this Wednesday. SSM Health changes its mind about building a new clinic complex on Park Street, saying it's responding to public reaction to the plan.
State Democrats and Republicans come up with dueling plans on how to provide funding for public schools. Our Rose Schmidt has the latest from the Capitol.
And a little later, for a city that's seen its share of high-speed chases, this one in Los Angeles may top the charts. That's coming up. Everybody's still talking about this story today.
Yes, they are, and the dogs involved are all...
We'll get an update.
Yeah, we'll get an update in a little bit. Let's take a look outside today. We mentioned how windy it was. Perfect for the windsurfers on Lake Wabisa. Look at that. Putting on a show this afternoon.
White caps. Wow. The weather words, less windy Thursday. I'll spit it out. Dave Caulfield's in the windy backyard with the latest on that.
Yeah, not meaning to give you a tongue twister there, Mark, so sorry about that. But we will be less windy as we head into tomorrow, and temperatures will still be mild, so that's good news. But for all those complaining that temperatures weren't warm enough, well, here you go. We've had plenty of sunshine this afternoon after a patch of clouds got out of here earlier this afternoon across southern Wisconsin. And just we are basking in the sunshine across southern Wisconsin. That is for sure. Doppler track is not showing anything across southern Wisconsin, but that could change as we get into the late evening and overnight hours once again, especially south and east of Madison. Right now, looking at the sunshine on the WISC-TV Skycam in Madison, we are experiencing temperatures in the 70s. There we go. Graphics a little bit slow. We just want to stay on that beautiful scene there, I guess, on the WISC-TV Skycam. Temps in the upper 70s, close to 80 degrees. Wind speeds, though, we have been talking about them. They have been gusty out of the south at about 20 miles per hour in Madison, gusting closer to 30 in some spots. Your day planner for the next few hours, temperatures falling through the 70s into the middle 60s. So, let's take a look at your first alert traffic update. We are taking a live look at I-94 right now. Not looking too bad in either direction. No major accidents or incidents to report across Dane County, and traffic is generally heading out at the speeds that you might expect for an afternoon on the Beltline. We are seeing those delays start to pile up eastbound out of Madison, Verona Road to John Nolan. That's 11 minutes with an average speed of around 25 miles per hour. That is your first alert traffic update. Coming up, we will talk about the threat of maybe some stronger to severe storms as we head into Friday in your first alert forecast.
All right, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave. First at 4, a big switch for a big development in our city.
SSM Health announced today it will not build a new clinic on South Park Street. They say the decision is in response to community pushback. The clinic was going to go up at the site of a current Pick and Save grocery store because that's the only full-service grocery store in the area. The community was concerned demolishing it would create a food desert. The new clinic will now be housed nearby on South Fish Hatch. Community leaders are praising the decision. We'll have more from SSM Health and the city coming up at 5 and 6. Assembly Republicans are proposing a $500 million increase in funding for K-12 education.
But it falls $900 million short of what Democratic Governor Tony Evers is asking for. Rose Schmidt is live at the state capitol to explain the difference between the two plans. Rose?
Yes, well, the state's budget committee is expected to vote tomorrow on the budget for the Department of Public Instruction. But we know that the two Republican leaders in both houses are still trying to come to a consensus on funding for K-12 education. Assembly Republicans laid out their plan today. They're calling it the pro-kid budget. It would have a $500 million more for K-12 schools. That's compared to the $1.4 billion that Governor Evers proposed. The GOP plan would have a $50 million increase in special ed funding compared to $600 million that Evers wants. Speaker Robin Vos says the state will restore its commitment to funding 2/3 of total education costs, a proposal Evers also advocated for. Democrats say that item is a step in the right direction, but vow to keep fighting for more special ed funding.
Making a historic investment in education. This will be the highest level of investment that we have ever made in our public schools in the history of Wisconsin. And that is something that we hope will generate broad bipartisan support.
And now we have a governor who's done the right thing by K-12 education, which means the right thing by the kids in Wisconsin and the parents who send their kids to our public schools, and the Republicans have decided to cut it.
Senate Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald says the Senate and Assembly are headed in a similar direction in crafting that pro-kid budget. He will continue to talk to Speaker Voss and Senate Republicans tomorrow ahead of the State Budget Committee's vote. And Republican leaders also met with Governor Evers today. We know Governor Evers' office issued a statement afterward saying that Evers believes there is some opportunity to work together with Republicans on education and some other issues, but we have not yet heard his plans about how he feels about this Assembly GOP plan.
All right, Rose Schmidt reporting live for us at the State Capitol. Thank you.
The war of words between President Trump and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is heating up. The two met briefly today to discuss a possible $2 trillion infrastructure proposal, but the president walked out of the meeting. Natalie Brand has the latest from Capitol Hill.
President Trump held an impromptu press conference at the White House Wednesday after walking out of a meeting with top Democrats.
Instead of walking in happily into a meeting, I walk in to look at people that had just said that I was doing a cover-up. I don't do cover-ups.
Sources tell CBS News the planned infrastructure meeting with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer lasted only a few minutes. The president was reportedly irate after hearing comments Speaker Pelosi made earlier in the day.
We believe that no one is above the law, including the President of the United States, and we believe that the President of the United States is engaged in a cover-up.
The president is now threatening not to work with Democrats on bipartisan policy issues such as infrastructure until they stop investigating him.
This whole thing was a takedown attempt at the President of the United States.
Wednesday morning, House Speaker Pelosi held a meeting with her Democratic caucus to update them on ongoing investigations. Some are calling for impeachment proceedings against the president to begin.
In the public domain, this president is obstructing justice, and he's engaged in a cover-up. And that could be an impeachable offense.
Several different House committees continue to investigate the president on topics ranging from obstruction of justice to his personal finances, and House Democrats have accused the Trump administration of blocking their efforts. On Capitol Hill, Natalie Brand for News 3 Now.
And the Trump administration is facing more scrutiny after another migrant child dies in U.S. custody this week. Today, the acting head of the Homeland Security was on Capitol Hill, where he was grilled about the circumstances and the ongoing border crisis. House lawmakers pressed acting Homeland Security Secretary Kevin McAlean for answers after the death of 16-year-old Carlos Hernandez this week, the fifth migrant minor to die in U.S. custody.
It's intentional. It's a policy choice being made on purpose by this administration, and it's cruel and inhumane.
That's an appalling accusation, and our men and women fight hard to protect people in our custody every single day.
The top Republican on the panel backed the secretary and demanded Underwood's comments be struck from the record.
One woman was killed and a man injured in a confirmed tornado early this morning in southwest Iowa. The National Weather Service says the EF2 tornado was on the ground for over 4 miles with peak winds of 110 miles per hour. That is the strongest tornado in Iowa since last July's outbreak. It appears that residents had little advanced warning of the potential danger. Adair County Emergency Management says there was a severe thunderstorm warning issued for the county overnight, but no tornado warning was issued. In north central Wisconsin, utility repair crews spent the day restoring power to thousands of people. Strong winds early this morning downed hundreds of trees and took down power lines with them. One apartment complex in Wausau was damaged when a tree fell into it. At one point, 31,000 power customers were without electricity.
People in dozens of homes on Madison's northeast side woke up to no water this morning. Madison water utility crews are working to repair a water main break on the city's north side. It was due to a break in a 10-inch pipe on North Sherman Avenue. A large hole developed in the roadway, causing traffic to be rerouted during rush hour. Repairs took most of the morning. Well, a local nonprofit makes a big step in improving health outcomes for Black women in Dane County.
The Foundation for Black Women's Wellness now has a home on Madison's west side. Charlotte DeLeste is here to explain. Charlotte?
Susan and Mark, this is a big step. The group's founder cites statistics that are simply unacceptable. Black women dying at a much younger age in Dane County, and Black women are overrepresented when it comes to suffering from preventable diseases. Lisa Payton Kerr was inspired by her own mom's death 13 years ago to make sure that women in the future would receive better care. She created the Foundation for Black Women's Wellness and has now secured a new facility at 6601 Grand Teton Plaza, located in the middle of two areas of the county most impacted by those health disparities.
Since the day we started, our focus has been on empowering and supporting Black women to live their healthiest lives and to specifically reduce the health disparities that have plagued our health for so long, not only here in this community, but nationally, and to ultimately make real and significant measurable gains.
The foundation already serves over 1,000 women and girls annually through health promotion, prevention education, fitness and yoga classes, as well as support circles and wellness coaching. The foundation is also asking community members for support in raising $100,000 to help with the expansion of programming and services, as well as things to fill their space. They have set up a GoFundMe page, which you can access through the Foundation for Black Women's Wellness website. And we have a link at channel3000.com.
Important work indeed. Charlotte, thank you.
Still to come tonight at 4, the Madison Mallards season starts next Tuesday.
And besides baseball, food is becoming a major draw at the Duck Pond. We'll find out what's on the menu this season when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Welcome back. A high-speed chase in Los Angeles last night still has people talking.
A woman is in custody after weaving in and out of traffic in a stolen RV through a neighborhood before crashing.
You can see this motorhome making wild turns out here. I cannot believe what is going on this afternoon.
Well, behind the wheel of the damaged RV, a female driver with 2 dogs inside. She sped through intersections and slammed into cars in her path. And at one point, you can see one of the dogs hanging out of the windshield.
Oh my God, I was practically pulling my hair out. Yeah, and then I saw the other dog and I'm like, please, dog, don't jump out until it comes to a complete stop.
Well, after slamming into a tree, the woman jumped out of the RV, one of her dogs running behind her. She didn't get very far, though. Police tackled her in front of a home. At least 3 people were hurt, all with minor injuries, and both of the dogs are expected to be okay. One of the dogs actually jumped out at one point, didn't it?
Yeah, there's video. He's in a cast. He broke his leg, but he's going to be okay.
Hard to watch.
Yeah, it really is something. Well, stocks ended lower over lingering trade concerns. The Dow Industrials fell 100 points, ending the day at 25,776. The NASDAQ Composite Index lost 34. The S&P 500 was off 8. Well, the Madison Mallards made headlines yesterday after the organization entered into a promotional deal with Chick-fil-A, the fast food chain, which has been criticized for its anti-LGBTQ stance. The Mallards have since canceled the promotion.
So now it's almost time to play ball. Tuesday night is the home opener for the Madison Mallards at Warner Park. Hungry baseball fans will have some new snacks to try at the Duck Pond this year.
Chefs Tristan Straub and Matt Phelps showed us what's new on the Mallards menu.
All right, so the Mallard season is almost here. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Can't come to the baseball field without having something to eat. So what did you make for us today?
First on this side, we have our poison curds, which are curds, beer-battered curds tossed in hoisin with grilled pineapple and sesame seeds. Here we have a take on the Nashville hot craze that's going around with butter pickle chips, basically the same beer-battered cheese curds tossed with our own Nashville hot mix.
Here we have a brisket sandwich. Underneath that is a double jalapeno smoked cheddar topped with a jalapeno relish with green and gold for the Mallards.
Ah, there you go.
On the end here we have a Thai hot dog. It starts with our hot dog that we serve throughout the ballpark, topped with red cabbage, carrot, cucumber, Thai peanut sauce, sriracha, and peanuts.
This is well beyond peanuts and Cracker Jack at a ballpark. This is pretty fancy stuff.
Yeah, I think we've tried to expand the minds of our fans and enjoy the food a little bit more ourselves, get beyond the standard baseball classics. They're still available, peanuts, Cracker Jacks, etc. But for those that want to be a little bit more adventurous, we're here.
Well, you both have a fine dining background. So each season, do you sort of collaborate and brainstorm about new dishes that you're going to offer, or do you offer the same things every season?
No, we collaborate heavily. We like to go around town for lunches, spitball, try new things, see what other people are doing, steal those ideas, and apply them here.
So what's new this season?
Aside from these things, we've really actually tried to sort of pare down and focus a little bit more on our processes, getting fans out of those lines a little bit quicker. Have trended a little bit more towards the gluten-free options, having more vegetarian, vegan options available here at the ballpark. Essentially, the fans have spoken, and we've tried to listen as best we can and make those things available. So there's something for everybody when you come here.
Matt, how important is the food?
I think it's a big thing. It's a large seller for us. Again, with the addition of the suites, we've really become food heavy out there, and I think that's a big selling point out there. And I think that people without the ability to tailgate here, they need something to eat when they come here, and we're ready to serve that up to them.
What kind of reaction do you get from fans? If you're new to the Duck Pond, it's going to surprise you that all this is available.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time I think it's a no news is good news. But no, we tend to get a lot of positive feedback. You know, the rare negative feedback of a cold hot dog we'll remedy immediately. But I think that people seem to enjoy it, and that's why we keep doing it. And obviously, if we got a lot of negative feedback or things just weren't selling, we'd pare back a bit and stick to what the people want. I mean, we try to listen as often as possible and take the criticisms, the comments, etc., and apply them to the menu.
What hasn't worked?
We've done a lot of things during that craze period where it was about bigger and sort of heavier and more sugar and more things that shouldn't be together. We had a few failures, I think, in that realm where it's just a little bit too much. I think we did a Porktopia Pigwitch my first year. It was like 1.5 pounds of
Sounds
6
fabulous.
different pork products. It sort of was, but it was, you couldn't, no one could finish it.
It's a bit too much.
Yeah.
So this is the future, you think?
Yeah, I think it's the future's here. I think that not only here at this ballpark at Breese-Stevens Field and really across the country, I think the trend towards getting away from some of those failures that collectively as stadiums we made together and moving forward towards not only better food, but really understanding the dietary concerns. Those people are finally not afraid to go out and make their voices heard, and their options are available pretty much across the country.
Matt, do you make the food here?
We do. Everything short of the hot dogs and burgers, everything else is grilled here. All the toppings and things of that nature are all prepared here in our kitchens.
So how many chefs do you have working at the ballpark?
It's just Tristan and I, and then
Wow.
a large team of high school cooks.
Oh, that's fantastic. So they get some culinary experience?
They do, along with a lot of other experiences too.
Best of luck to you. Have a great season.
Thank you very
Bon
much.
appetit.
Thank you.
And if that food looks fancy, it's because these guys have a fancy background.
That's right. They worked with Chef Tori Miller, and they worked at Gray's and L'Etoile, so they have a lot of experience in fine dining. And they're busy guys because, as they mentioned, they also do all of the food at Breese-Stevens for the new soccer team that's in Madison. So, and you can still get, you know, popcorn and a pretzel.
80% of what they sell is the traditional stuff. But
Right.
you got to try something different.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, it
really
was.
good.
All right, from high-end baseball food to high-end hotel rooms.
And things are getting a little out of hand on that front.
Some hotels around the world are introducing new, very sweet suites. I'm Wendy Gillette. I'll give you a VIP tour.
Well, take a look at this. The Indianapolis Zoo, in association with the American Dairy Association, held the 40th annual Zoopolis 500 tortoise race today. The event is held the Wednesday before Memorial Day and the Indianapolis 500 race. The radiated tortoises follow their noses down the rainy track where a banquet of fresh fruit waits for them at the finish line. The Madagascar natives are known for their star-patterned shells and are considered to be one of the world's most beautiful tortoises. This year's winner's name is Ed. Simon and Pippa came in second and third.
Was that over like a 3-day period?
Yeah, this is actually a week ago Wednesday it started.
We want to remind all of you about our Hunger Heroes Telethon tomorrow. It's in partnership with the Goodman Community Center, and that organization provides 12,000 meals every summer.
And during some of the busiest months of the year, the food pantry alone sees a 15% increase when kids are out of school and families need more help filling the pantry. About 150 families rely on the food pantry at Goodman on a weekly basis.
If you'd like to help us, our Hunger Heroes Telethon takes place tomorrow. All you have to do is call 274-4000 and make a donation. There are also items you can drop off at the Goodman Community Center, things like cereal, spaghetti and sauce, peanut butter and jelly, and granola bars. We have a full list of items that they need on our website, channel3000.com, and thank you in advance for all of your help.
And you have to keep in mind, kids don't have that lunch at school
true.
during the summer, so there's a big need.
Good people over
you can
there,
help.
too.
Yep.
Absolutely. And it's starting to feel like summer outside.
Eventually.
Yeah,
You just said it's kind of hot.
Oh.
A little warm.
Just to tease you.
OMG.
We don't want your head to explode.
Eye rolls for days. We're talking about
teasing
the mild weather continuing, but also some more storms are possible. We'll talk about that in your First Alert forecast. Good afternoon. Hopefully you had a great Wednesday so far. Lots of sunshine, especially during the afternoon hours on this Wednesday. But we started off actually quite stormy. Take a look at this close call in Cross Plains. This tree narrowly missing this house and these vehicles. Mark Richardson sending in this photo. And also we have some damage, a little bit hard to see with that resolution there, so sorry about that. But some barn damage in the town of Arlington in Columbia County. Chris sending in that photo. And it's pretty easy to see why with wind gusts, especially this morning as that line of showers and storms was rolling through very early this morning of about 40 to 50 miles per hour. We still do have wind gusts this afternoon of about 30 to 35 miles per hour, all because of this powerful low pressure system that's been causing problems for the last 2 or 3 days or so, all up and down the central United States, basically from Canada all the way down to Mexico. And we're looking at that low continuing to kind of sit just to our north and west, but it's still being fed by these strong southerly winds, and that breeze is going to continue as we get into the evening hours as well, but we should be less windy tomorrow. And the warm front really rocketed temperatures up this afternoon into the upper 70s, close to 80 degrees, so 20 degrees warmer than where we were yesterday. And we have, we know, been dealing with the rain for the last week or so. Every day except for the 20th had at least a little bit of rain recorded. We had 0.02 inches of rain early this morning, so all in all, that storm system providing about 0.35 inches of rain. And as far as severe weather goes, we do have a chance of seeing some stronger storms tonight, especially south and east of Madison. And as we head into Friday for all of southern Wisconsin, now the severe weather setup right now, we have tornado watches touching 6 states from Illinois all the way down to Texas. And we have multiple tornado warnings right now as it's May in the plains. We're getting that active weather setup that we come to expect this time of year. And for southern Wisconsin, we've been looking at the sunshine. No storms just yet, but there is a chance of a few showers and storms, again, especially southeast of Madison later on tonight into the overnight hours. But looking at mostly sunny skies in Platteville, partly sunny skies in Madison on the Edgewater Skycam. Beautiful afternoon, a little bit on the warm side for some of us, I guess. 77 degrees for the high today, about 5 to 10 degrees above normal for this time of year. And those temperatures are still pretty close to their daytime highs. We're actually in the 80s at the airport in Janesville, helped by these strong southerly winds at about 15 to 25 miles per hour. Gusting right now at 40 miles per hour in Madison. So that is no joke. So be careful as you're driving home tonight. I do think those winds get better tomorrow. Now, I mentioned we do have the chance of seeing a few strong thunderstorms tonight, south and east of Madison. That's when that cold front that will come through really starts to get its act together. The moisture lines up with that source of lift. And so I think for spots like Janesville into the Waukesha and Milwaukee areas, some pretty heavy downpours possible, along with some gusty winds and some small hail later on tonight. Into Thursday, much of the day should be dry with temperatures once again in the 70s. Then as we head into late Thursday into Friday, our storm chances and shower chances start to go up a bit. And later on Friday, some storms that form could be strong to severe, some hail, some high winds, even a tornado threat not out of the question right now. We're still watching this closely for our shower and thunderstorm chances, mainly in the afternoon and evening on Friday. So keep checking back for updates on that. For Memorial Day weekend, we're actually going to be dry for most of the time. Saturday and Sunday, temperatures in the 70s with partly to mostly cloudy skies. And then on Monday, for Memorial Day, especially later on, we could see a few showers and storms. And another active weather pattern setting up for the beginning of next week with storm chances in the forecast from Monday until Wednesday.
All right, 20-degree difference one day.
All right. It happens.
Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Around the world, some very sweet sweets have just opened.
Hotels are unveiling more and more lavish and unique rooms as they try to attract wealthy guests and, more importantly, attention on social media.
CBS News correspondent Wendy Gillette gives us a tour from the Maldives.
The Conrad Maldives Rangali Island is giving a whole new meaning to sleeping with the fishes. The Maraca Suite is the first fully submerged underwater hotel room in the open ocean. There's also a bathroom 16 feet below the horizon where you can watch nature show whatever you're doing. An elevator ride away, your butler awaits in the overwater section of the villa, all for 50 grand a night. The Maldives is becoming well known for its super suites. This is the 3-bedroom ocean residence at the Jawali Resort with 2 pools and living rooms. But on the longest jetty in the country, even standard suites are anything but standard.
All the overwater villas here have pools this big,
ensuring plenty of space to watch the sunset. The setting sun in the islands of Tahiti looks a little sweeter from the 2-story presidential villas at Conrad Bora Bora Nui. Monte Carlo also has a new extra special view of the sea from the Princess Grace and Prince Rainier III suites at Hotel de Paris. The hotel next to a casino featured in 2 James Bond movies was a favorite of the royal couple.
They loved coming here on special occasions, this being either with friends or with families.
High rollers can also stay at the 2-story Empathy Resort designed by artist Damien Hirst at the Palms in Las Vegas, the most expensive in the world at $100,000 a night with a 2-night minimum. Melanie Lieberman is a travel editor with The Points Guy.
At the end of the day, hotels know they're going to get a ton of free press from these suites, as well as Instagram influencers and the occasional person who can pay $100,000 a night.
It seems hard to fathom what could top these rooms, but Lieberman says in the age of Instagram, expect the penthouse to get ever loftier. Wendy Gillette, CBS News, the Maldives.
How'd you get that assignment?
Yeah, that's not a bad assignment. Go to the Maldives.
The cheapest suite is the standard overwater bungalow at the Jawali at $3,000 a night. The 2 Monte Carlo rooms, they're a bargain, $45,000 and $50,000 a night.
Wow.
I'm going to be an Instagram influencer.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you get that job?
Well, you got to start posting on
All
Instagram.
right. Well, that would be a start. When we come back, we'll take you to a special after-school program.
The students are actually encouraged to play doctor.
It's not your typical after-school program. I'm Nicole Killian in Baltimore, where these kids are already in medical school.
There's a live shot downtown with a couple little white caps on the lake this afternoon. Well, do you want to be a doctor? An after-school program in Baltimore, Maryland is teaching kids about medicine, sparking an early interest in the medical field.
Nicole Killian shows us where playing doctor is encouraging elementary and middle school students to pursue the real thing.
So now I'm taking...
The Little Medical School of Baltimore is planting the seeds for the next generation of doctors.
I want to be a dentist when I grow up. Doctor or a veterinarian, a nurse or a doctor.
Giving kids like 6th grader Tyreek Brown confidence they need to succeed.
If I became a doctor and a kid came to me to do like a checkup for like basketball, football, I know how to perform a physical now.
Take one, pass it down. Marion Beck is a nurse who started the non-traditional after-school program, which also includes a little nursing and veterinary school.
Every little kid has said at one point or another, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a nurse, I want to be a vet. So this is kind of filling that void in that STEM enrichment after-school programs.
This 6-week course not only offers students a taste of the medical field, but also teaches practical health skills like how to take your blood pressure.
Judea Berry is almost finished with the program and now knows what she wants to specialize in.
I want to be an OBGYN. If I'm an OBGYN, I might have to do a C-section. And if I have to, then I have to learn how to suture the skin together.
The hope is students go from the little medical school all the way to the real medical school to earn their white coat.
I know the way the body works.
Nicole Killian, CBS News, Baltimore.
Smart kids.
Good idea, too.
Yeah, the Little Medical School of Baltimore is the newest location to pop up across the country, and after just 1 year, it's quickly expanding across the city.
In addition to before and after school classes, the program will now be offered as a summer camp at several locations across the city.
Big ambitions.
Yeah.
And speaking of school graduation, it is graduation season is upon us.
What are the best gifts and the best advice to give the new grad in your life? We'll ask Christine Whelan, and there's her book, A Guide to Finding Purpose in Life. We'll talk about that when Live at 4 continues.
Good afternoon. Here is your Wednesday First Alert traffic update. Taking a live look at the Beltline and Rimrock Road. We are noticing some slow go in both directions, but especially on the eastbound side, as you might expect. It is an afternoon on the Beltline after all. Average speeds from about Verona Road through Park Street, about 15 to 25 miles per hour. Stoughton Road not looking too bad. And the interstate also not looking too bad. Starting to see some of those delays stack up downtown as well. And here are some drive times. 26 minutes from University Ave eastbound to the interstate, average speed of around 35 miles per hour. And in the other direction, pretty much looking at the same journey with an average speed of around 35 miles per hour. And that is your First Alert traffic update.
All right, Dave, thank you. It's not exactly the graduation seniors at Castle Rock High School in Colorado had expected. Some students dug out their snow boots, others wore gloves and a hat under their mortarboards as several inches of snow fell overnight. One family even dressed head to toe as minions to surprise their son and niece and to take their minds off the wintry blast. This is one graduation people will not forget.
Yeah, see, it makes it memorable. That's true.
And graduation season marks the end of a chapter and the beginning of new opportunities.
It's a time for family and friends to mark the milestone moment, but what are the best gifts and advice to give new grads? Christine Whelan is a professor at UW-Madison. She is the author of the book, there it is, The Big Picture, a guide to finding your purpose in life. Hi, Christine, good to see you.
Good to see you again.
This is a special time of year.
It is.
And you break graduation gifts into 3 different areas, right?
Exactly. So everyone wants to give a celebratory graduation gift without breaking the bank, right? And to making it a significant, meaningful one. So I'd say there are 3 big categories you want to look in. First is the idea of experiences. So we all hear this, you want to buy experiences rather than things to maximize happiness. But what about a graduation gift where you give the graduate a dinner or a lunch with just the 2 of you? A trip to the ball game. It doesn't have to be anything hugely expensive, but just time together at some appointed moment is a really good gift of an experience and kind of celebrates that milestone in a way that you will both remember.
To make a memory. I love that.
Absolutely.
Reminisce.
And then speaking of memories, that's the other category of gifts. Now, everybody is taking photos on their smartphones all the time, and if they're anything like me, those photos just kind of get lost on your phone. So what about a way to have these graduates put their college or high school photos into a photo book, up on the wall in mixed tiles, any of those products that kind of take it more tangible. In addition, those high school graduation diplomas, those college graduation diplomas, yes, they are analog pieces of paper, but I still have mine up. I'm celebrating my 20th college reunion in a couple weeks, and so I still have my framed diploma. So those things really kind of matter too.
Oh yeah, especially down the road. You know, you think they're not going to have as much value, but after a little time passes, you get real sentimental about that stuff.
You do.
Yeah.
And you look ahead to the next chapter in your life. Find a new purpose in your life.
Exactly. And so this is where the advice piece comes in. And this is where I wrote a book called The Big Picture, a guide to finding your purpose in life. And it's really, rather than giving advice to the graduate, it asks the graduates the questions that they need to kind of find their advice from the inside out. So ask them questions of what matters most to me. Why does it matter? And then how to make it happen in my life. And so whether it's a high school graduate who's looking to make the most of college, or a college graduate who's looking to kind of really make the right career choice and get involved in some job crafting in the career that they have to make it work for them, this book is full of questions and takes you step by step so that at the end of the day, you have something really tangible to show for your work.
Especially, I would think, for people who aren't really sure what they want to be doing. It provides some clarity that way.
It does. It really does. And then there's good research on this, that when you take a small step toward achieving a goal, that actually boosts your self-efficacy, your sense that you can do things, and you're more likely to be able to achieve that larger goal, too. So taking small steps like this can really bring lots of happiness and achievement along the way. And better yet, if you have somebody who is going to take you to lunch and talk to you about the book, you can combine some of these too.
I mean, parents have gone through this at their stage in their life. What kind of wisdom can they pass down?
Well, most of these young people are anything like the young people that I know, they don't really want to hear any wisdom from their parents, right? So this is where kind of having a book or a peer network offering the advice really definitely helps. In terms of these young people looking for wisdom, they're looking for it in all sorts of places, whether it be YouTube tutorials or various different apps. And anything that helps you ask the questions rather than tells you what to do, those are the ones that are most useful in your journey ahead.
I love some of your other ideas, like making your graduate business cards, a set of their first business cards with their name, their email. That's a fantastic idea.
It can be very simple, just your name, your email, and your mobile phone number. A lot of other things are going to change over the years, but you just have that on a card. People still use those old-fashioned business cards.
That's a great idea.
The Big Picture is the name of the book. You can go to your website. You have excerpts and downloadable tools.
Downloadable tools, excerpts, and all sorts more, and video testimonials from students who have used the book as well.
Oh, that's
ChristineWhelan.com.
All right. Good advice as always.
Thank you.
Happy graduation,
Good to
everyone.
see you. Thank you. Good to be here.
Right back with a final check of your forecast. Bad hair day.
Oh, that's for sure.
But at least we can be outside for long enough to have a bad hair day, I guess. And that's me trying to put a positive spin on it. Temperatures are in the 70s. We are watching some thunderstorms well to our south. I really think they're going to miss most of us, except maybe south and east of Madison. Cashing in on a shower or thunderstorm tonight into the early overnight hours. Partly cloudy for the rest of us. Temperatures falling into the 50s. And tomorrow will be in the 70s with partly sunny skies once again.
Finally.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Dave. We'll be right back.
In today's Final Touch, if you're a fan of movies from Lionsgate Studio, a trip to China should be in your plans.
Some of its most popular film franchises are being brought to life inside a new theme park in China this summer. Lionsgate Entertainment World offers several adventures, including